guys, well, we've got well over a foot of gravel in here on top of this pipe now, but I think we can start putting in some dirt. This is process just as straightforward and simple. We've done all our work, got it together on this back side. We just got to push a little dirt back in the hole. Well, all right, guys, it's time for lunch. I'm going to continue to do my backfilling, and it's just a matter of we're putting dirt back in the hole. That's as simple as it gets. I'm on a look. I may do a little bit of tamping just so I won't have to come back so often, but this is not going to see any traffic, so nature might be doing the tamping for me. But we're going to go grab some lunch and come back and fill this in. I'm gonna give y'all a break, and I'll bring you back when we start doing the ventilation and getting the roof on, getting everything framed up, get the door built, and this thing's gonna be operable. I'm excited about that. So we'll see you in just a little while. All right, guys. So we're in the root cellar, and we're getting ready to make preparations for our vent. We want our vent to come in down low. Now, my recommendation to you is when you're doing your block work, go ahead and cut your block and get you a sleeve out. I got excited and that opportunity passed me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to core drill a hole out the sidewall. Now, I do have a core drill, so that's, you know, other than the labor that's involved, that's all it's going to cost me. But I would recommend that you go ahead and put your sleeve out, a 4-inch sleeve out from my intake. It's going to be down low, and of course our exhaust vent will be in the ceiling, flush with the ceiling, going out the top, but we'll worry about that later. So let's see if we can get a hole drilled. Woo! Man. All right, y'all. Well, we got a hole. That was tough. That was tough. 5-inch core drill. That hammer drill has pretty much finished me off. So tomorrow we'll get our pipe, get our vent out, get that sealed up good, and then we'll be in business. Hopefully, things are going to start going downhill a little bit. We'll see. Well, good morning, guys. Whew, back at it again. So yesterday, you seen that we were doing some backfilling. We got our backfilling took care of. Well, not all of it. You can see I'm still coming up some more, but we got enough of the root cellar backfilled to where I'm not working in this big hole. We got our gravel in. We got our, of course, y'all seen we got the drain in. And then we started to backfill. And so we've got some dirt in there that makes it a whole lot easier to work around the root cellar. But yesterday evening, you seen that we punched our hole out in the block wall for the vent. And we've got to get our vent run before we can continue to backfill, because that vent will actually come out underground. I want to keep my vent low. I've seen several different applications, but I'm going to keep the vent low on my root cellar, and that's the part of it that'll draw air in. And then of course our exhaust vent's going to be up high. So we've got to go. We've got to get some material. We've got to get some pipe and some fittings, and we'll get started back on this venting. Alright guys, so I went ahead and done the prep work here, the shovel work. Y'all didn't want to see me do that. And we made a trip to the hardware and got some material. So let me point you down here and we'll get started on the vent, the air intake. We'll get started on it first. I'm going to leave this conduit or pipe a little bit long, and we can come back once we seal up around the opening, which we will have to do. We can come back and trim that off flush. So we've got our pipe sticking out here, and the next thing we need to do is glue on a 90. And on your application, this may not be required. You might be able to go straight out, but what we're going to do is bring it out, turn 90, and follow our drain line down toward the creek. Them chickens are excited again this morning. So we're going to put a little glue. This is not a water line. This is for ventilation. And we want to put glue on it appropriately. We don't want it to come apart, but like I said, this is drain line. Now for the ventilation pipe, I'm using Schedule 40 PVC. It's a little more expensive than the thin wall pipe that we used down at the footing, but the thin wall pipe that's down at the footing, covered in gravel, is 6 or 8 feet under the ground. It's not going to need to be any. It's not going to receive any physical damage. So that's why we used it around the footing. Of course, it come pre-drilled with the holes in it. When we get out here to where the tractor could run over it at some point in time, we're going to change that over to a Schedule 40, just like we got for the vent. So we got our 90 glued on. The next thing you'll notice is the ventilation pipe is about 8 inches higher than our drain line, and we want those to run parallel in our ditch down to where everything's going to terminate. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to put a section of pipe on here, and then I'm going to put a 45 to get it to lay out flat. The easiest way to do this is to take your 45, lay it on the ground. You're going to turn your pipe and see how they're going to meet up. Once you get it in position, we can measure. And we're coming about a 1/4 inch back on the collar. So that piece of pipe needs to be about 5 3/4 inches. All right, let's get this 45 up here, and we'll glue our piece into it. like I told you before, that's a pipe's got some mold mildew on it. Been laying up out there in the barn, and we're gonna put it to work. So we get that in there. So we got that piece glued on our 45. Now we're gonna glue this up. Like I said, if I was running water pipe, I would glue both sides, but I just don't think it's necessary for this ventilation pipe. So we're gonna stick that. We're gonna get that down there on our 90. Just like that. Turn it to that. There we go. Alright. As you guys can see, we've got our ventilation pipe in. The next step on this one is to continue it on. Now right beside our ventilation pipe, you can see that there's a the tail off of the drain pipe. Let me get some parts and pieces. So off this drain pipe, and here again you can see that's a thinner wall pipe. I'm going to bring, the drain goes all the way around the building in a horseshoe shape. It comes out on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it together in this corner before it goes down the hill. I'll set that pipe up on the other side so that there'd be some slope, and it's going to run directly underground below the entry point. We're going to use thin wall in this application because that's what we're connecting to, and that'll make it easier. The other thing is it shouldn't see any damage right up next to the foundation. Once we get here, like I said, we're going to switch both these, and I keep wanting to say conduit, but both of these pipes we're going to switch over to a 40 schedule, a heavier wall. This is probably going to be underneath a retaining wall for a period of time, or for a distance out through here. So I don't think it's going to get damaged, but you never know when, you know, a tractor might get away from you and you run over these pipes, and if you crushed one of them and didn't know it, it would definitely hamper the ability of the root cellar to ventilate or water to drain. We could have a water problem, so we just want to make sure that we're using that heavy wall pipe out here where there could be some vehicular traffic. So I've just cleaned out around that pipe. I'm going to slap some glue on it. Try to get plenty of glue on this. Don't want no leaks right here. That's almost against the ground, so I won't be able to get it all the way around. But my glue's going to puddle toward the bottom of the fitting anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue. So we'll just put it on here, and we're going to rotate it over just like that. I think it's going to work out perfect. Then the next thing I'm going to do, because it's going to get hard, it's going to start getting hard to work on that pipe that's next to the wall, I'm going to take and go ahead and glue up a section of the thick wall pipe to our vent. Hot and humid today. It rained last night. It's not real hot, but it certainly is humid. So we'll get some glue on that, and more than likely I'm going to have to go down here and kick it a little bit. That's going to fight me. So let's kick it in place. Yep, I think she went home. So here's the coupling for the Schedule 40 pipe, and here's the bell end off the thin wall pipe. You can see that it fits in there. It's not as tight, but I think it'll be fine. The next step is going to be to get that pipe over there connected with this pipe here. And what we're going to do, our thin wall pipe, we're going to glue in this end, and we're going to run it across. We'll set our 90 up on top of everything and get us some measurements and marks, and then we'll cut the pipe that's stationary. We'll stick this end in with glue with our 90 in place, turn our 90, and then push it onto the stationary piece, because we can't move that piece back and forth. You guys have probably figured out by now, I'm a terrible plumber. So after cutting it too short and fixing it too short, I think I've got a piece that's going to fit in here. Horrible plumber. So we'll just keep going till we get the job done. Alright, now I've got enough pipe to where I should be able to cut a little bit off and it'll reach when I glue it up. I know I could edit all this out and let y'all think that everything just goes perfect all the time, but we know it don't. After the struggle, we're going to put some more glue inside here like we talked about earlier. Take our glue over here to our 90, and pull the pipe off our 90. Put some glue in the bell. A little on glue here, let's go get another jug. And we're going to stick the pipe in there. So here's what we got. We got that vent coming out, 90, 45, running down through here. We got our drain coming out, 2 drain lines, one on either side, teased together. Runs over here, see the other side. You can see that that pipe is just a little bit high there. That'll make it drain well. Now, it may expose some of that pipe in the front of the building here behind the door, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. So, functionality, we're perfect. We got pitch, we're going to have flow, we're going to continue right on down the ditch. So, let's grab us another piece of Schedule 40. Get the glue on the pipe. Glue on the coupling, and what works best for me, since I don't have no help, line it up, kick it into place, and try to grab our glue, piece right there is going to cause problems. Put a couple on it. Very good. Got another couple in. More glue there. I'll be lucky if I have enough glue to finish it. I think I'm going to. As far as what we're going to do today, anyway. Back up, get her right. Glue on there. Alright. Okay. Well, guys, I don't have to tell you that I'm not a plumber. But I'm just trying to show you how you can do things for yourself. If this is more than you want to try to tackle, you can always reach out to somebody that's more familiar with this kind of pipe. But anyway, the next step is we're going to let this dry up good. And then this pipe has a little bit of flexibility. We're going to work it over into our ditch. And then we'll carry it on. But I think you've got the basic gist of the drain and the vent. We've got that hooked up. We're going to seal the inside and take care of that sort of thing. Get all that took care of, and then we'll move forward. So until next time, it's old Piedmont Gardener, ready for a glass of sweet tea. Y'all have a good day.